what are you averaging as far as commission monthly?
14K. As I ramp up, I can easily get to 20K plus.
I guess like what was life like before coming into the group?
I asked myself if I weren't doing my own business, what would I be doing? It'd be high ticket sales because it's the quickest way to make multiple six figures.
All right, Miss Loralei Bayette. I was excited to do this interview. Me and you were both laughing right before this because we're both low energy today with how many calls that we've been taking throughout the day. But excited to chat. And for a couple reasons, I think the big thing is that you are one of the sales girls inside of our group that is crushing it right now. But if you don't mind explaining to the people here, how long have you been in high ticket sales since you started working with me? What does that look like? What are you selling?
Yeah, so formerly I ran my own business. So I had done high ticket sales for myself and it was good, but it's different when you're selling for somebody else. So selling for somebody else, it's only been a couple of months. Um, so it takes a little bit more strategy than when someone's coming from your own business. So I had to sharpen my skills if I wanted to sell for someone else. So yeah, it's been a couple of months.
Cool. Makes sense. Yeah, I think you've been on this offer for 2.5 months. And if you don't mind sharing, what are you averaging as far as commission monthly on that role?
14K. As I ramp up, I can easily get to 20K plus. So I'm looking forward to that. But right now, around 14K.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense. That's pretty good, especially if you've only been on the roll for, God, I mean, 60 days here.
Yeah, you have to keep in mind that you're ramping up, you're learning the offer, and so on and so forth. So yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Okay, cool. Well, I know you have a decently like unique story here, but if you don't mind sharing, I guess like what was life like before coming into the group and getting into high ticket sales?
Well, I mean, I ran my own business, but I wanted to take a break from my own business. And I asked myself if I weren't doing my own business, what would I be doing? It'd be high ticket sales because it's the quickest way to make multiple six figures without having to wear all the hats that an entrepreneur has to wear.
Mhm.
So, you know, I I had a role in mind that I wanted to get, and I knew that I needed to ramp up. I wasn't feeling very secure in my skill sets. So I had a call with you. I signed up and I ramped up really quickly, honestly. Like, I think the first couple weeks I was like night and day with my skill set. So yeah. Just
Yeah, for sure. I think you said a good thing too. Like one of the cool things that I took away from selling for other companies, because originally I tried to go down like the entrepreneurship route first
yeah.
in the sales. But it's probably a similar experience of what you're seeing that you're able to see the infrastructure of these businesses
Oh yeah.
that
hmm
are generating so much money that you could learn from and take to your
Yeah.
own business in the future.
Yeah, I think that's important. Like so what I always tell people, like if you're looking to take a break from, you have to put yourself in the game. It's not going to just happen, just like any other, high revenue skill, or high income skill. But when you can be on a team that's already doing millions, then you start to, when I go back to my business, I'm coming from a different lens. I see their sales system, I see their strategies, I see their whole funnel from a different perspective that you can't see on the outside. So not only am I making, decent amount of money, but I'm also ramping up my skill set. And I think that
Yeah.
taking that money and pouring it back into your business, not just the money, but the wisdom that you take as well is really what sales sets you up for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, cool. So you ran your own business, you decided to put a pause on that, and then you decided to pivot into high ticket sales. Even for people watching this, I think it's one thing to make the decision that, hey, I'm going to go down this path of doing remote sales and landing an offer. It's another decision to decide that you're going to invest in yourself
Yeah.
and, possibly even spend money that you don't have
Yeah.
for looking for help. What made you cross the line with like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and join Learn Sales Group?
Number one, if you want to get ahead fast, you need to invest in yourself. Simple. So I'm not new to investing, but I am discerning about what I invest in. So I had multiple calls. I won't name names, but I've had like five different calls. Um, I wasn't only coming to the call wanting to know information about the program, but also seeing how they handled the call and seeing how their closers handled the call. So a couple things, it was really supportive. I like how you have different salespeople inside. So you get different perspectives of people that have done well. You've done well, Sean's done well, Braden's done well. It was more high touch support. And also, you guys post a lot of roles. So you guys post a lot of roles. You plug people with deal fuel as well, which I appreciated. So it just felt really supportive. And to be honest, coming from, selling my own offers, when I saw some of the more flashy content, it just didn't feel authentic to me.
Yeah.
Like not just the flash, that's not what you're about. You're grounded and reasonable with like, where are you trying to take this? How do we get you there? And what are you trying to do after the fact? And not just flashing like luxury stuff or flashing these tactics that sound good and are entertaining on the internet, but don't actually translate and work with a sophisticated buyer. And I saw through that. So, those are some of the reasons why I chose to go with Learn Sales. And I had like five other calls with like top sales people in the industry.
Yeah. What concerns did you have, if any, before like coming into the group, especially considering you took five other calls for like different programs or mentorships or whatever? What concerns did you have before making the decision?
Just like what's going to actually get me there? Like what is some of the other programs, they weren't as high touch. Um, I wanted that I wanted that feel like I'm not just another person in a program, but I'm like being supported on an individual level as well. So I got both of those. Like I got the group, the community, but I also got that, I was able to reach out and ask questions and get that kind of personalized support as well.
Yeah.
Um, my I wasn't really focused on what I wasn't going to get out the program. I was more focused on how the heck am I going to get this role that I'm looking for and make that 20K a month if I don't get help. That's where really where my brain was. Is like less about skepticism because I'm used to investing in myself and it felt intuitive, but more about if I don't get help, the consequence of that is that I might fumble around and waste time and hold myself apart from 20K months longer than I need to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Essentially like waste time that you didn't want to waste, or time that you didn't like have, you
Yeah.
know?
And you need to be sharp. Like if when you're investing in a program, it's not just to learn the skill of sales. Of course, it's to learn the skill, but it's also to learn the industry and learn what questions to ask and how to present yourself on the call. And what are you looking for in an offer? And where do you find the right offers? And um, you guys have a lot of offers as well, but it just helps you also get that feedback loop of like, okay, I did this week. Okay, let's change it and then go play. Okay, I did this week. And then it's that feedback loop that you get as well. And I don't know if people understand that that's what you're really paying for as well. The skill set along with the industry knowledge to get you to where you want to go faster.
Yeah, I agree. So in that case, what made you, I guess, take the leap regardless of like the concerns that you had? Because I'll get some context. I'm the one who took the call with you, if you're,
Yeah.
and you actually didn't make the decision on the call. And so I like let you
Yeah.
step away, like do your thing, and then you ended up hitting me up later and like, hey, let's do this, right? So I guess what made you take the leap and make the decision?
Your style was more like laid back and yeah, sorry. I was just thinking about some of the other sales calls that I had, and I was like, this is get off my phone. But when I was on the call with you, I just remember you were just like, you weren't convincing me, you weren't trying to make a sale. You were kind of just had like a even kill vibe that, and when I was like, I need to think about it, it was intuitive for you. You weren't like, okay, well, like you weren't trying to do objection handling on me. You felt that, okay, she needs space to think. And that's exactly what I needed. I didn't need to be, I trust myself to make decisions. And so the way that you conducted the call, I feel like it helps the sophisticated buyer move forward versus trying to employ all these psychological tactics. I mean, that's part of it, but it was really your style, to say it short. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
style.
I guess this is a funny thing to touch on too. What were some of the like the cheesy, corny sales tactics on other sales calls that you took for other sales programs?
Okay, so first of all, I guess you just got to find what resonates with you. But for me, some of the calls I went on, they were like too uptight, rigid, trying to hold frame, like, hey, so this is what we're gonna do. And I'm just like, relax. You got to relax, first of all. Like, second of all, one of the calls, and this person is like really popular for all these really cool tactics, but to me, it was just overcomplicated. At first, I was attracted to it because I thought it was like shiny, like, oh, this person must know a lot about sales because they're giving me all these psychological tactics and this and that. And I want to understand that because it's complex. I need to learn from this person. So I get on the call and they have a closer that they trained using their tactics. And when it was used on me, I was actually super annoyed. I got off, I actually wanted to reach out afterwards and be like, your closer sucks. You need to change this. I'm turned off. I never want to see your teachings again. Because what they were doing on the call was so like, the performative, the performative content that they do is like when your prospect says this, this is what you say, and you'll see them doing a role play.
Yeah.
But in real life, that
Sure.
doesn't work. I think what the person said, one of the things amongst many, and I won't get into too much detail, but they were like, so they were asking me if like Michael Jordan had a coach. So Michael Jordan has a coach, right? Right. So do you think that he can get where he wants to go if he didn't have a And I was like, dude, you're totally not even listening to me at the fact that I am coachable and I'm willing to invest in myself. But you're so on this like train of thought that you need to perspective shift,
Yeah.
perspectives that I don't even have. Whereas on the call with you, you were just present. You're present and you were having a conversation. You just know in the back of your head, okay, these are the things I need to know in order for her to make an empowered decision. But I'm not trying to go in and like do all these psychological tactics to shift her perspective. It was just,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling.
No, I see what you mean. It's almost like they were asking questions to back you into a corner to where you had like no decision except to say yes.
Yeah, and you know how you say opportunity closer?
Yeah.
That's what you do versus trying to push someone into pain. I don't resonate with that. Like overly doing the pain and trying to get them to see how, I don't know. I feel like you have a little bit more skill and tact to
Yeah.
understand like this person doesn't need that?
Yeah, which helps now, right? Because to flip it back on you, right? I mean, you're selling to pretty high acumen buyers, I'd say, right? You're
Yeah,
selling an expensive product to business owners that know their shit with business. And could you imagine trying to use like cheesy psychological sales tactics on them? It probably
come
wouldn't.
on now.
Yeah, yeah,
Think about it. Think about a high level executive who's already making like 50K a month in his business. And you're over there like, does Michael Jordan, do you think that what kind of person, like, come on, dude, that doesn't work. And not to clown other people's stuff, is just to kind of communicate to people, don't get caught up in the shininess of, you know, platforms that you might see out there. Just because someone has a high following and they are good at marketing, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have the skill set that's going to actually drive you forward. And that's what I found is like you actually don't have a high count on Instagram, but I chose you from a place of discernment and do I like the way that this person closes? So versus like, oh, I'm caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in the hype, please.
yeah, for sure. That makes sense. And to wrap it up, at least talk to me about where's life at now since you made the decision? I know you're doing around like 14K a month, at least this past month, and it's October 1st for anyone watching this when we're recording.
Yeah.
Where's life at now for yourself?
I'm happy because I really needed to take a break from my business and I also needed to I'm on track to make 20K, which I'm excited to get to. And I just feel relaxed knowing that I am supporting myself and I can take a break and I can also use that money to funnel back into my business. So it's given me freedom and security and just peace. And the capital to be able to do whatever I want to do next. So yeah, I feel good.
Well, congrats, Loralei. I'm super happy for you. And yeah, I appreciate you for jumping on the interview.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate you and your team.